This morning we are pleased to welcome our annual mission appeal from the Archdiocese. This year we'll be joined by Carol McBrady as well as Maria. They're going to be sharing their story with us about the organization of Action for Children Zambia. That's going to be at the end of the Mass. And it's just a beautiful story of what Carol started to do almost 20 years ago, give or take. And Maria, a 16-year-old, has a beautiful story. So please do make sure after communion not to leave early. All right, remember, Judas left early too, all right? So, and he is in our gospel today, so that's that connection, all right? So don't leave early, all right? The homilies will be much shorter than normal, so it's going to leave time to hear this as well. And it's so beautiful that, of course, we have our gospel today to love what? Love one another. And that loving one another is not just those in the pews next to us, but those around the world. And this is an opportunity that we can do this. We can share with prayers and resources as well. And our gospel, once again, when we hear this love one another, this is actually, I read in a book recently, and it's a book I've been rereading. I think I made reference to about a month ago. It's called I Believe in Love. It's a personal retreat kind of given by Father Jean de Libby. It's French, I don't know how to say that, right? But it's just a beautiful book based off of Saint Therese of Lisieux, the little flower. But Father Jean said that in John's life, the gospel writer John, the beloved disciple, tradition has it, at the end of his life, this repeated the same phrase over and over and over again. Love one another. Love one another. This is how you'll know that you're my disciples, we hear today, if you have love for one another. And we can be honest about this. Loving people, loving one another, especially our enemies, can be extremely hard. Loving our neighbors can be extremely hard. Loving our family sometimes can be extremely hard. And the book even says maybe we think it'd be easier if we just lived as hermits and there was no one else around us. But that's not true. Because not only do we experience to love another person, but we experience their love for us as well. But even there, we have to make a conscious decision. How are we going to love one another? And this is where St. Therese of Lisieux had this to say. When I want to increase in myself my love of neighbor, especially when the devil tries to put before the eyes of my soul the faults of this or that sister who is less appealing to me, I hasten to seek out her virtues, her good desires. I tell myself that if I have seen her fall one time, she may well have undergone a great many victories that she hides through humility. And that even what appears as a fault to me could very well be an act of virtue because of the intention. I understand now that perfect charity consists of enduring the faults of others, of not being at all astonished at their weaknesses, of being edified by the smallest acts of virtue which one sees them practice. I just love this statement of St. Therese of Lisieux. Instead of seeking out the faults or seeing the faults in another person, to see their virtues, to not be astonished at weaknesses, because we all have weaknesses. So then why do we get so caught up in it? To love one another. And if St. Therese of Lisieux struggled with this, right? How she said the devil puts that one sister in front of me. Maybe you've heard the story, right? The one that's really annoying. And the devil wants me to take away my peace. This is actually an opportunity to grow in love. It's a simple line to say, love one another. But it's a hard way to live. Let's try it this week, though. truly loving one another. And when we do this, as Jesus says, this is how we'll know that we are his disciples, if we love one another.